everybody, my name is Luke Marr, and this is Hot Low Mode, and today on Hot Low Mode, we're getting into our Cannes Fashion Roast and Review Part 2, because we have 3 parts that we're going to do. So without further ado, Part 2, let's get on with the show. First up, we have ASAP Rocky. He is wearing some Miu Miu. It's a pretty simple, looks like a white silk to me. I'm not really sure how warm adjacent silk is, but I also feel like it wasn't that hot in Cannes, because I feel like the weather hasn't been super crazy warm lately. I also do know that ASAP Rocky was at the most recent Miu Miu show, so I was kind of intrigued by that as well. I think it's fine. I think it's super exciting. It also doesn't really read super Miu Miu men's to me. I think something about when I think of Miu Miu men's, it's kind of colorful and print heavy, but maybe that's just my interpretation of it. I think the white with the black shirt, just kind of clean and simple, is not what I was expecting at all, but it works. It's just not really fun. Next up, we have Adrien Brody and Georgina Chapman. Now, Adrien is wearing Tom Ford, loves it. And honestly, Georgina is wearing Machesa, her own brand, also loves it. Let's talk about Adrien first. So this is a little sparkle, I think it's crystal. When I zoom in, it definitely is giving full crystal suit. It's by Haider Ackermann's Tom Ford. It was one of the more sort of simple styles from that first debut runway show, but at the same time, simple, clean, effective. Like, that's kind of what everybody wanted from that Tom Ford show. And I think Haider Ackermann delivered. Like, there was an aura and an essence to it. And I think that this little sparkle suit is a perfect way to do a black suit, but make it interesting, make it fun, make it memorable. I also feel like normally I'm kind of waiting for Adrien Brody to do something cool and pizzazzy. And I feel like this is the first time that I'm getting that. Maybe because it's like the Amphar gala and he's like, sparkle, ally. But even if it's not for that reason, I'm happy that we got him there. Thank you, Georgina. Now, on to Georgina. I love this dress. I also don't really know all that much about Machesa. I know what it looks like usually and historically, but I don't know if this is a classic Machesa silhouette, but that deep plunge, this kind of odd floral but fringed silver cascading frayed experience is lovely. The fact that it sort of creeps up the shoulder, creates a faux sleeve, and then loops around the back and becomes almost like a collar of sorts is kind of amazing. I think that the silhouette is fantastic on her. The rest of the dress is this form-fitted little banger, and then at the knee it sort of flares out just a little bit to give a tiny little baby train. I think they're both stunning and sparkling, both figuratively, and I'm into it, and I'm excited to see what they do next. Next up, we have Aja Naomi King, who is wearing Miu Miu as well as some jewelry by Messika. Let's talk about the jewelry first. I love this necklace, this beautiful diamond necklace. I think that the multi-size, oval, whatever those are, is gorgeous on the necklace, and I think that the matching earring works. I also love the dress. This really finely pleated little pink stomach cutout off the shoulder, little shawl experience plays into this gathered skirt. Maybe the skirt could have been a little bit more pleated, like that sort of micro pleat style, but I'm not mad about it because it's really only if you zoom up super close that you can tell the difference between the two. I think this is pretty in pink, nice Miu Miu. I think the accessories work. I think it's lovely and honestly quite gorgeous. Next up, we have Aubrey Plaza. Now, she is also wearing Miu Miu as well as jewelry by Messika, and I feel like Aubrey Plaza loves a weird Miu Miu moment. I don't know if that's just her personality goes straight to the, okay, Miu Prada, whatever you want to do, I am your vessel. This sheer, fully crystallized with butterflies and bugs made out of paillettes and gold is actually quite intriguing. It almost airs to me a little bit like Louis Vuitton by Nicolas Gisquier. I know it's not, but something about maybe the bodice underneath with the sheer sort of dress over it is just, it reminds me of that. I'm not saying anybody's copying anybody else. It's just, I'm reminded. It's not my favorite. I don't love the dress, but also I know that recently experienced some loss, so I'm not gonna go hard in the paint at all. It's not my kind of dress, but I do think that it plays into the history of Miu Miu with the embellishments, the sort of sheer, almost lingerie sort of styling here. It's not for me at all. And speaking of not for me at all, we have Coco Rocha, who is wearing Razvan. Now, I feel like Coco is trying to help promote cool, young, up-and-coming designers, and I appreciate Coco for that. She's a star in that regard. I just don't love the multi-shirt collar as a banded mermaid dress bodice thing. I get it if you look and you start at the top, it's obviously enlarged collar that has wrapped around and become a neckline, and then there's a white, then there's a blue, and it has matching off the shoulder sleeves. Maybe we didn't need that at all. And then this big gathered mermaid skirt. She's Coco Rocha, very statuesque, understands how to pose, but I fear that not even she can make me like this dress. Because, not everything that is upcycled looks good. Sometimes it doesn't. Even Martin Margiela couldn't make everything upcycled look great. It's weird and it's strange. It looks a little bit crafty, a little bit DIY, and like not in a good way of DIY. I would never, ever wear that. I wouldn't want anybody ever to wear that for their sake. Next up, we have Diane Kruger, who is wearing Prada as well as jewelry by Fred Paris. I think the jewelry is nice. I'm interested by the earring shape. But as for the dress, it's very interesting. Also, I feel like, again, like Prada, Miu Miu, you can kind of see the Aubrey Plaza and this Diane Kruger look sort of being a little similar in terms of sheer styles with embellishments and then opaque underneath. I think it's weird. Obviously, it's a sheer clear sequin, icy blue piped full gown with a matching stole that is feathered at the very bottom. And then it has a white halter neck, slightly stressed and played with, fussed about halter scarf bra thing. I will say that it is most definitely quite jarring of a look, but something about it also to me like kind of works. Yeah, without the halter neck scarf bra, I would feel a little bit more comfortable. Obviously, something underneath would be good. But I don't know. I don't hate the dress, and I definitely don't hate the stole. I think that the under styling is odd and weird, but also then I think about Prada, and like there's just sometimes those one little moments that are off or odd or feel quite weird. And then I have to think about it and really like digest it, because that's what happens with Prada is you gotta digest. As I've been digesting it over the past few weeks, like I don't hate it. And maybe I'm weird, and I'm okay with being weird, but I don't hate it. Next up, we have Elle Fanning, who is wearing Armani Privé. I love this. I think this is a beautifully, fully embellished sequin gown. The florals on it, these little pink roses, the little crystal encrustments on the actual neckline, just the fit of it while still being an embellished dress. Like, it really fits her almost skin tight. It's that light gray that really just sort of dappers a pink with another almost darker gray, or maybe it's a green, I don't know, of the leaves that sort of play into the flower. I just think she looks stunned. I feel like this color, maybe we could think, oh, it's going to wash her out, but I think something about the pink, really light pink roses help sort of bring out her skin tone a little bit more as well and don't make it feel super foreign or odd. I enjoyed it. And I also think it's just like one of those feats of haute couture and sort of handcraftedness or handwoman craftedness is the important part of dressmaking to a degree. And I think this is a great example of like beautiful beadwork and embellishment and hand done sewing that you don't really get a lot. Next up, we have Elle Fanning again. Now, this is by none other than Sarah Burton, who is the new creative director of Givenchy. And so we saw these looks at the most recent or her first debut show for McQueen. I love the fact that from the front, you're looking at it, you're like, oh, it's a double-breasted jacket with a pencil skirt. Not really anything crazy. Maybe that collar shoulder thing at the back is a little odd, but then you look at the back. It's a plunging neckline in the back. So is a tailored jacket, but with a plunging neckline, which I think is definitely not very common. I love the way that they braided her hair and have the big bow at the back too. I think that it almost plays into this idea of if you were to reverse the jacket, you could put the bow tie there and it would be like wearing a bow tie with a jacket and a shirt, but there's no shirt, obviously. I just think Elle Fanning gets it. I know that she's going to be, if you trinket, in the upcoming Hunger Games movies. I'm very excited to see that too, because she really is a fashion horse. I mean that in the most loving kind way. She's a clothes horse. I think that she's going to embody that character well, and I think that she's just like, hey, here's me doing it before I'm going to do it on screen. Next up, we have Elsa Hosk, who is wearing Valentino as well as jewelry by Messika. Again, we're seeing that's not oval shape because it's almost like a rounded top with a sort of pointed bottom. It's lovely. I think it's beautiful. It's simple. It's clean. And also this dress, it's a whole lot of dress, so you don't really want the jewelry fighting for attention here. It's a fitted, really tightly pleated gold lame bodice, and then there are these tiers from the waist down of pleated, almost like peplum tiers. I think it's crazy, but I also think it works. I don't know if this would work on everybody, I'll be honest. I think her being Elsa Hosk helps a lot, but it feels really Valentino to the core, very with love gauche and 80s and bright and gold and textured and frilled, and yet at the same time, like, it really works. I think it works with the hair. I think it works on the body. I think the black bow right at the waist also helps out here. It's kind of miraculous, and it's one of the first times I feel like I'm really seeing Alessandro almost like hit that old school Valentino on the head. Like, he's done his own versions, and I really actually enjoy the Valentino clientele. Went to the show in March, and the funny thing about that is, like, you see all the clients, and, like, they wear it. Like, I know you think, who would wear any of this kind of crazy mumbo jumbo shit? They wear it, and they wear it well, and you believe in the vision of them because they sell the vision of him. And so something like this, I could see the girlies getting into. Maybe a little bit more mainstream, but still, like, this... stunning. Next up, we have Emma Stone in what I'm calling the Cone of Shame. It's a custom Louis Vuitton style. It's a simple white dress, but then it has this quilted asymmetrical neck collar bib thing. If you were to flip it up, I think it would look like a dog cone, you know, so you don't bite and scratch and itch your bits. I can get into LV. I can like see where Nicolas Gisquier is coming from a lot of the times. Like, there's just certain moments where I say, no, too much. I can't. And this is one of the moments. It's a beautifully quilted bib. I just fear that I don't know if grown women should be wearing bibs on the red carpet, you know? And I don't mean like a tuxedo bib, so you don't have to wear like a full shirt. You just wear the little sort of short bib style with the collar, but I mean like a bib, like a baby bib. I don't know if we're there yet. I think we still have a little bit more time before that becomes a thing. It's just odd, and I know that that's a bit of LV, but I can't sell myself on it. Next up, we have Halle Berry, who is wearing custom Gucci as well as jewelry by Chopard. And I mean, like, the bracelet, the ring, I'm sold. I like that the diamonds all sort of also match the crystal embellishments that's going on in this dress. A simple halter with a beautiful sort of round, almost dial-like embellishment pattern, but I think it works. I think it's beautiful. I think she looks stunning. I think the hair works really well with it too. It allows that halter to really breathe and be taken in. I think the color pops on her. It sparkles, but not too much. It's kind of exactly what you want. Next up, we have Hayley Atwell, who's wearing Giambattista Valli and jewelry by Chopard as well. As I'm not afraid of like a Giambattista Valli volume. I feel like it should be Giambattista Volumani. I think something, though, it's actually like not even the big bow that falls off the hip here and the large mermaid train skirt. I think what the issue to me is the way that the fabric sits across the waist in order to create this bow. I think it just looks sloppy, a little pastrami-esque, and I'm okay. You know, I'm a can, not cats. I know they sound similar, but one, I pay way too much money for a corned beef sandwich, and the other one is supposed to be glamour, all right? And I feel like I'm getting a little bit too much layered corned meat. I think it throws off the rest of the dress. Like, the bow you can get along with, can actually kind of possibly work in terms of the silhouette. I just think that front area looks real sloppy, and maybe it should have been at the back. I don't know, but it's not working. Next up, we have Heidi Klum. She's wearing Ellie's Saab. It's too 2014. You know, I don't mind a sequin that reflects a different color from like a pink to a blue. I just think that it feels a little dated, you know? In 10 years, you can try to bring back. The only person that has brought mid-2010s fashion, like a print or a sequin that now, upon looking, is abominable, is Robert One doing the Galaxy print. And he did it very nicely. This just feels like Forever 21 couture. It's too much, I think. It fits her nicely, but I also think the sheer panels don't really help me to feel well enough to take it seriously. I think the silhouette, though, off the shoulder is good on her. She's beautiful. It's the sequins and the sheer. It's just too much. Next up, we have Isabelle Huppert. She's wearing Balenciaga and Elsa Jin jewelry. It's those Elsa Jin brooches, really something else. I know this is meant to be like a flower with a big emerald in the middle. I don't like it. But what I dislike more is the full denim haute couture dress, backwards jacket, and skirt. Like, I hated a long denim skirt. I was at a bar recently, and I saw a young woman wearing a long denim skirt, and I almost had to stop her and say, ma'am, you're 22, and I'm having to call you ma'am. A denim skirt ages you. It looks weird. It really sits so close to like cult wear. I can't take you serious. This gives FLDS. It's a little fundamental. and we don't want that. I can't get behind a long denim skirt ever. And then the backwards jean jacket, I also don't think is good. It's just, it's a tough look, and she's not selling me on it. Next up, we have Jane Fonda, and I think Jane looks great. She's wearing Oscar de la Renta. I think this is perfect. I mean, that floral bodice is absolutely lovely. I mean, that waistband, too, fits her phenomenally, and I think the rest of the skirt allows what's going on up top to really work super well. It's crisp, it's clean, it fits, it's beautiful. Like, this is kind of what we want. I also feel like between her hair and the dress, it could be a little matchy-matchy, but I think that it's just such a gorgeous, stunning style that I'm convinced. I'm sold. I'm eating out of the palm of her hand. Next up, we have Jennifer Lawrence. She's wearing Dior. Maria Grazia left Dior. Jonathan Anderson is in at Dior. We will do a video about it, I promise. I just think that this is a good Dior moment by Maria Grazia. I really like this. I think this is pretty. I think it looks almost like she's wearing two-piece and a biscuit, but it's not. I think it's a singular dress. It's a beautiful silk. It's textured up top, and then you have this like a cherry blossom that sort of snakes its way up. The skirt also is like this light, really subtle ombre. It gets more green, blue at the bottom. Wonderful. I don't know what it was about Maria Grazia that towards the end of her career, she was like, all right, let me like turn things out. Because we had like a whole 8 years before that where I was like, Mama, what's happening? Why? Why are we doing this to all of us? You know? And so it was like a little bit too late. A Dior late and a dollar short. It was just tough. But this, fantastic. She looks great. Next up, we have Julia Garner, who is wearing some Gucci. This is a custom look. I think it's wonderful. Does it look like she is melting or the dress is melting? Absolutely. It's like a purple glob monster that is just falling away, and I'm into it. I think that these really, really light little fringe frayed pieces of thread looks absolutely wonderful. I think it's cool. I think it's different. I think it's exciting. I like the way that it almost embodies like a monkey hair to me, like that length of a fur like that. I think that the fact that it's in a purple also gives you the ability to not feel like you're looking at Julia Garner wearing a monkey hair. I love it. I'm into it. I think it works. I think it's cool. Next up, we have Kristen Stewart, who is wearing Chanel. It's this satin cream or white suit jacket with a pair of shorts with that front crease, so it looks like a tailored trouser, but it's really a short. She's also wearing a sheer button-down, a black tie. She has a matching satin baseball hat in her hand, and then she's wearing a pair of socks with a peep-toe black pump. It's strange. It's weird, but like, I don't hate it. I don't love it, but it's not egregious. I also feel like Kristen Stewart just kind of does her own thing with Chanel. She's just like, I'm just going to wear whatever. And they're going to be like, okay, fine, whatever you say, diva. I am interested to see how Mathieu Blazy influences Chanel, and we'll talk about that in a little bit because I have some observations. This to me feels like normal Kristen Stewart Chanel oddness, but maybe there's a hint, I guess, with the baseball hat of Mathieuisms. I don't know. We then have Mariska Hargitay, who is wearing Patou. I think it's lovely. I think it's a white halter neck with this full crystal detail that goes across the whole strap and around the back of the gown. Listen, Patou is a brand that not many people like know the history of. They don't really understand the references. Jean Patou, he did his own thing. He was living, he was laughing, he was loving. It has a very 30s silhouette, which I think is important for sort of putting it in a time frame of the Patou brand. I don't think it's doing too much. I also don't think it's doing like too little. I think that crystal detail really makes it pop just a bit and still feels relatable to the everyday person. Next up, we have Paris Jackson, who is wearing that. I don't know who it's by, and I think it's probably in the best interest of whoever made it that I don't know. No name recognition. I think that this gathered ruched crystal bodice with the bra bust area becoming like a swooped off the shoulder collar detail and then just like a bodysuit underneath. It feels very Drag Race, not well done contestant outfit wardrobe. The color also like washes her out. It does not complement anything. The beige on the white is dreadful. It's a poorly made thing. Like too many working elements. Some of them working is really generous to even say. So yeah, No. Next up, we have Scarlett Johansson, who is wearing Prada as well as jewelry by De Beers. I mean, listen, I think the ring, the bracelet, the earrings, and these lovely diamonds are quite sweet. And then, as for the dress, I think this light blue, fully gathered and ruched experience is not bad. It's not crazy. It's not super exciting. Do like the double tail train thing that actually does come from the front of the dress and then sort of flares out as it gets, to the hip area. But I feel like unlike the Giambattista Valli from earlier, at least it's pleating on top of pleating, so it doesn't feel too out there. It could be better, I'm sure. But, it's not breaking up the bodice and making it seem strange and weird. And then on top of it, the dress really isn't like fighting in terms of silhouette to do something crazy. It's just beautiful glamour in this icy blue. I think she looks nice. Next up, we have Simone Ashley, who is also wearing Prada. It's this gorgeous red fitted gown. I love that it has pockets. She literally has her little thumb in there. High neckline, but rather intriguingly done. I also love the way that Prada does tulipy sort of silhouette. It's quite high and tall, and then it brings this beautiful column from the waist down that doesn't even touch the floor. It's almost like she's floating. I also love the necklace. I feel like it's very odd, a little bit abstract to me. That has a Prada sensibility to it. I think the color really pops, even though obviously it's on a red carpet. I think that the color still really pops on her. Next up, we have Taraji P. Henson, who is wearing Oscar de la Renta. Here's the thing. It's similar-ish to the Jane Fonda in the sense of it's this floral sort of applique placed on top. I don't love the color, but I don't hate it. I don't think it's awful on her. I think what my issue is when you do the full floral applique that's kind of big, or any sort of applique like this, it can almost look like you're carrying around a sack. It becomes a sack dress because it looks really heavy. It gets a little Teletubby, a little Cookie Monster, I don't know, Big Bird's floral cousin. It can own you, if that makes sense. I think that had you had it as a bodice and then a skirt, it might have been different, but I think that full length and then on top of it, the color is a lot. Like, it doesn't, to me, do her the justice that she deserves. Here we have Viola Davis, who is wearing a very similar color, but this is a simpler Gucci style. It's very much so draped right in the center and sort of gathered and then flares out. It's a really simple, easy silhouette, but I like the fact that from the straps of the dress, we get this beautiful train. It's in this almost like chartreusey yellow kind of feeling. I think the necklace is beautiful, that big old emerald. I love that. Love the look of that. Stunning. I think the color suits her. I think that it feels classic, easy glamour. There is a little bit of applique excitement in the lace situation that's right underneath the dress, so it adds a little bit of texture as well. But it's not fighting for attention. It's not demanding it. It's just there and easy. So I think she looks nice. And lastly, we have Zoe Dutch. I think this is one of the interesting Chanel moments. This horizontal stripe double bow bodice with the polka dot skirt and the matching stripes right at the hem of the dress. The dress is actually a recreation of a 1956 Chanel by Chanel gown that was actually part of a spring-summer collection. I'm pretty positive. And it's also a dress that Zoe Dutch wore in the movie Nouvelle Vague, which is what she's going to be performing in. It's why she's in Cannes. But I just like that they recreated it. I feel like it was done well. I feel like it's actually not better than the original, but it definitely feels newer than the original. The lightness. If you look at the original, the way maybe it's lighting, I don't know, but it has a darker brown stripe, whereas this lighter, sort of paler brown is actually quite miraculous and lovely. I don't know, I think it speaks to the newness and vagueness of Mathieu Blazy's Chanel that we have yet to see. I think it looks lovely on her. I'm excited. We'll talk more about Zoe Dutch's outfits in the next part 2 because I want to get into the Mathieu of it all there as well. That's the end of this video, so let's talk about best and worst. I'm putting Zoe Dutch in there because I like the Chanel. It was lovely. I'll put Simone Ashley in the Prada. I'll put Halle Berry in the Gucci. I'll put Elsa Hosk and Valentino. Elle in Armani Privé. Oh, Adrien Brody and Georgina Chapman I loved. Jane Fonda I thought looked really nice. And Viola Davis. Bam. As for worst, Heidi Klum, Isabelle Huppert, Hayley Atwell, Taraji, Coco Rocha, and Emma Stone. Thank you guys so much for watching this part 2. Don't forget there is a part 3, so stay tuned. I will see you guys in the next video, and TTYL.